Yo, fellas, it's good.
Hey, another day, another podcast.
Black excellence, we did it. You already know.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Everybody ready? One chance, one sound. Well, actually, one chance, few sounds. A lot of sounds.
Actually, one chance, many sounds.
Many sounds. Many of few. We'll decide that.
Hella chances and mad sounds.
All right. Let's go ahead and get the music off and let's dive into it.
Let's dive right into it.
All right, so it's New Music Friday, right? That's what we're going to call Friday podcast?
Right.
All right, so we're going to just go around, introduce a new song, who you are, and then we're going to go with that, right?
All right.
So, Brandon, go ahead, start. What new track you got?
I got Down Bad by Dreamville. That's J.I.D., Baz,
My title.
J. Cole, Earth Gang, what's his name, Young Nudie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him.
Fucking names.
He got about 5 seconds on the song.
So, what's your favorite line from the?
Yeah, it's got to have a bar.
You know.
Brown versus Board of Education. I was Board of Education, so I left the town.
Ooh, bars. Damn. Damn. So we gotta check that song out, huh?
So yeah, that's the point. You gotta recommend
All right,
something.
what you got?
No. Hold on.
You gonna play the song?
Hold on. He got me excited.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He
I
got
feel
me.
you, bro. Look, so when you get to me, like, I ain't got shit new, but I'm gonna play some shit for you. That's how we gonna do it.
I
never snippet of it.
Playing
Just
the
keep it
song
like
feels
that.
like it's a whole thing. But
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
too
man,
long. We're
man,
gonna
that-
name him. We're gonna name him and tell him why we.
So is this a song right here?
Yeah. Got a little old school vibe to it.
Okay.
Start with Young Nudie. It's only 5 seconds.
Okay.
He's wet.
So how did J. Cole do it?
He killed it too.
Man. Oh man.
Hey,
I'm gonna have to.
What, how you feel, Wood? Hold on. Is this a
Matter of fact, since you the DJ, play this for me when it's my turn. Cause I don't have no new shit, but just play that. That's my shit. Play that for me.
Okay, we're playing a little snippets. So look, go check out Down. That's the line. I'm done. Bars.
all right, there we go. All right, let's get a couple more songs in real quick. Bobby.
Oh.
I know your song. I want to hear your song.
So look, all right, y'all. You want a strip club anthem? If you think about going to Onyx Stadium,
I'm judging already.
So this is the ratchetness of the rap.
so look, check out Blueface, baby.
Blueface.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
daddy. Let me play it for you. Look, crowd. I'm telling you. Look.
Blueface.
Yeah,
It's definitely a little vibe.
it's a nice vibe though. So it's got a good beat.
He still can't rap.
My man can't rap though, but this
It's
is.
got a good
But
beat.
it's catchy though. That's a
It
difference.
is catchy.
What you busting down now?
Somebody. Oh, that beat.
Hey, the beat, all right.
Look at that Spice Adams face.
Yeah, I.
Exactly. Tell them what's down and shit.
I thought this is busting out there. She called me daddy. I don't even know her mama.
My man, hold on.
Hey, this sounds a lot like.
Hold on.
Yeah.
My man said she called me daddy and I don't even know her mama.
Hey,
I'm done.
bars.
Next.
I got a song for you, man.
All right, so we got one more.
Wait,
So
did you say bars?
One more song, people. So Black Men Don't Cheat, Lil Duval.
Oh, that is new music.
Let's get it.
That's new music though.
My
That's
homeboy
a
came-
good
Don't even play my
came
shit.
up
Y'all
with-
got it. I'm gonna stick my shit.
Soulful.
I like that. I like this song.
Yeah.
All positivity. Black Men Don't Cheat. You know, I'm trying to be better out.
Make you skin your face up.
I feel like there needs to be a camera.
You gotta throw that piece up.
Right? It do, yeah.
Oh wait, hey, he said black man stand up. Oh, you're not black? Hey, salute fellas.
We don't tweet
Alright.
All right, so let's get into what everybody's coming here for, which is the conversation.
Wait, there's no more new music?
No more new music right
Let's
now.
get right
We
into
gonna-
They can
we
take
got
too
that,
long.
yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna start with Brandon. We're gonna go around. Everybody's gonna get a question. The questions, guys, can range from anything from serious to funny. Again, nobody take anything personally. Audience, don't take anything personally. We're just sharing our opinions, and we're gonna go with that. So,
Word.
get us kicked off.
All right, so it's framed as a question, but I'm just gonna make it a discussion. Let's discuss mental health in the Black community.
Okay.
It's taboo. I will say that.
Is it taboo to discuss it? Like
No, not to discuss. I think within the African American community, I think, especially men, if you go see a counselor or you're talking to a bunch of boys, you're viewed as weak.
Yeah. Real thing.
And I think that as an African American community, we need to get out that mentality because I feel like we all need each other to lean on. Brandon, Bruce, I mean, even Rob, we've had many conversations in the car where we just kind of bounce ideas off of each other. And it's just, afterwards you kind of get a sense of camaraderie, you feel good. You're like, man, like I can take this back and maybe work on this or whatever. But, as a whole, it's viewed, especially for men, that you're weak if you go see a counselor. I'll be the first to say that I've seen a counselor myself. And I'm not ashamed to say it, and it's helped me out through many situations. When I moved to Richmond, and I was there by myself, not really knowing anybody, it was just kind of a brand new world. So that's what I got to say about that, though.
Okay. I'm gonna put 2 cents on it. And Bobby, you made some great points. I feel like as Black men, a lot of times we get scrutinized and we get criticized because we don't go see a counselor. And we really don't. Black men don't even like to go to the doctor.
They go to the doctor.
They won't even go to the doctor.
Exactly.
Health insurance is still no good.
Exactly. Right. So I think it's just important going forward that we need to make sure we take care of ourselves because, we living in, any day now shit can happen. Mm-hmm. So I just think that it's important that we make sure we take care of ourselves. Self-care is a big issue. You gotta make sure you take care of yourself.
Better make sure you check your balls.
Right.
All that shit.
We do get lumps.
Yeah, exactly. That's what, and I think what it is, we just afraid to go to the doctor. We're afraid of bad news.
I think it's more we're afraid to express ourselves to people and get feedback.
Vulnerable. If you're vulnerable, if you go to the doctor, you are vulnerable.
So my question for you guys, throwing it out there, would be if you have a family, or let's just say you are going to eventually have a family, how would you encourage your wife or child, whether they're boy or girl, to express themselves emotionally? How do you build a structure or foundation of openness, but yet still, I guess, direction?
Communication. So my daughter's 9, right? And her mother and I, it was she could not healthfully, express her emotions, which I had a hard problem with, especially when we were in undergrad. So if she was sad, she wouldn't be sad. She'd get mad, but she's really sad. Right. So you imagine, you being 22 years old, 21 years old, and you're trying to figure out, what the hell you starting an argument for? You're not really mad. You're just sad about something. So let's say I'm visiting. Matter of fact, I went to Fayetteville. She went to Bennett College in Greensboro. Right. So
She was a Bill.
Yeah, she was a Bill, and I went to Fayetteville State. Every time I go visit her, right, everything would be good. Everything would be really nice and smooth, right? As soon as it was time for me to get ready to go, right, she'd start an argument about something fucking stupid. She'd be the dumbest shit. She's mad. She's sad that I'm about to go back to wherever I'm about to go. So instead of being sad, she will start an argument and get mad, right? So it took me about 2 years to figure that out. So when I realized it was like, all right, well,
you went 2 years of that?
Yes, trying to figure that out, which is very stressful. It's stressful, right? And it's hard to figure out somebody's emotions, especially if they don't know how to express them healthfully. So with my daughter, I have this thing where I make sure that first of all, I can't deal with 2 of them. I can't have 2 women in my life who don't know how to express themselves healthfully. And honestly, I would have 3 of my sisters the same way. So what I did was, I took this step back from it. Actually, I bought a book. It was called Raising a Modern Day Princess. Right?
Wait. Plug that.
Raising a Modern Day Princess. The name of the author slips me right now. Right. It was called Raising a Modern Day Princess. And one of the first couple's lines in the prelude or the introduction or whatever was like, every woman is who she is, because of her relationship with her father. And when I
I'm
heard that
gonna
shit,
have to agree.
I was like, boom, it just blew my whole head
Yeah.
out. So I started like looking at every woman in my life.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a question, throwing it out there. If you date somebody who didn't grow up with their father, or their father died.
It has to be their father or male role model.
Okay, so just whoever
that's the book.
whoever they identify.
Pam Farrell and Doreen Hanna.
Say it to them. So.
Pam Farrell and Doreen Hanna, Raising the Modern Day Princess. That's the book I got, and I'm gonna say.
Can we tag her?
Yeah.
Can we tag that?
I hope we could. It was a great book.
Yeah, we'll make sure.
So it's father or whoever the male role model is in their life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's about communication. I say all this to say communication.
Okay,
you have to talk.
building communication. All right, so let's move.
So is this gonna take long?
No. Well, I mean, I'm just saying communication.
No. So that's good.
Communication. That's it.
Okay, so
You gotta talk.
So building on that, I would say you also, more than communication, which is important, you got to have examples. So you can like speak a lot, but you have to have the actions that go along with it. So if you're telling people to do certain things, they need to see how it's done.
So that we're not all speaking about the same thing, Brandon, how have you dealt with mental health, either yours or somebody else's, in your relationship, or in relationships in general? How have you? If you don't want to talk about a particular person, or even with yourself, how have you handled that? You know, if you don't want to speak on it.
I just maybe last year I started going to see a therapist because I realized that I didn't know how to handle my own emotions. Like I would be depressed and not realize it till I'm like so far into the depression that it's like fucking everything else up in my life. So I got counseling. The person I was with got counseling for their own separate issues, our issues together. But I think it's important to be. Can you stop licking my flask?
Sorry, that's my dog. Sorry.
Talk to the dog.
I think it's important to be comfortable with needing help. Comfortable with people knowing things you don't know and taking their advice and applying it the best way you can, because I think a lot of the problems around mental health in the Black community is we just kind of brush it off, write it off, or say you pray it away. Prayer can be a part of it, but you do need somebody that's professionally trained to do the things on top of prayer.
Faith without works is dead.
Exactly. Like faith is like faith is important. Faith is great, but faith is just faith. Like faith is not going to get you out of your depression.
Okay.
As fast as like knowing your triggers, your signs, how to stop it before it gets too far in there.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep asking questions on the same issue. If it's too much, you don't have to answer.
No.
How would you say your upbringing has affected your mental health from the standpoint of whether it's with your mom or dad? Like, if you could go back and either thank them or give them criticism, or maybe not criticism, but say something they could have done different, is there anything that you would say?
Not necessarily. Kind of piggybacking off what he said about having a father figure. I mean, I grew up with both my parents.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. But
which is rare, by the way.
Yeah, it is very rare.
Yeah,
it is.
But as I got older, I could definitely see in other people, well, I guess the females that I've dated, the females that I've dealt with.
I took a shot. That's one shot.
shot.
One shot on the board.
By the way,
we'll get it when we change topics. We'll get it when we change
Ladies that I've dated, that the ones that I struggled with are the ones that did not have fathers. And I was able to kind of see that in other people. It really made myself more thankful for having mine.
Okay, so I want you to stop there.
So wait, I got a question for him. Like, you kind of skipped over this question. You don't think like the people that raised you had anything that like needed a little fine tuning for your generation?
I mean, again, kind of piggybacking off him, like.
Can I answer this question? Because I think I asked a question that applies to myself, right? I, like all you guys, or at least like you two, have seen a therapist multiple times in my life and also in relationships. And I can say that if I could go back in time and tell my parents anything, I would tell them to listen more. because I think so often, like in black homes, like you said, my mom's very religious, goes to church every Sunday, Bible study on Wednesday, that whole thing. Yeah. They're like really from southern, from Mississippi, deep south, Pentecostal. That's what the whole thing is. Like grandma used to put holy oil on me before I went to school. Yeah, like it was real. Like so, right. So my thing with that then was ultimately, like with my dad, a lot of times the relationship revolved around his emotions. So, so yeah, that was a thing. Like,
I guess some of the things I've noticed. I mean, just not in like certain relationships I've been in, but just overall, it's just the father figure affects a lot of things. If there's not a role model there, like a father figure, they kind of look.
So Travis, I have a trick question for you, Travis.
A trick question?
No, not a trick question.
I was like, what?
I have a question. So obviously we know there's you can't replace a mom's importance on a child. That's an intangible thing, right? This is the one thing that can't be separated. You can separate the dad, you can't separate the mom. What a relationship though has the most impact on it? The child, the dad, or the mom?
Both even.
I think
Okay. Travis a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Travis.
Yeah, no, I think they both serve their purpose, right? I think that there needs to be a balance. But unfortunately, a lot of times in the black community, we don't. There is not a black father figure. A lot of times. Okay. Me personally, my biological father was only there till I was about 5. Struggled with drug abuse, and so now we're trying to rebuild our relationship. But he personally told me that he thought it was better that he wasn't in my life, rather than him being there. And when I first heard that, I was like, bro, are you serious? I would never say, like, I would never, no matter the circumstances, if I had a kid, I would always be in their life.
He just didn't want you to see a bad example.
Right. So then I started kind of thinking about it, analyzing that statement a little bit.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I don't know if that's a.
I don't think it's a. I think it. He's not excused because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I think what he's saying is if he would have been there, he would have fucked his head up.
No,
right.
I get that. You believe him.
I think sometimes when I think like he has some weird ways, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like if he was there, like now when I think about it, it might be like I might be a different person. And I grew up like so not really having a positive male role model in my life. Basically, I wanted to do what I seen on movies or this TV, like, Fresh Prince, things like that. I'm looking at that type of stuff.
So that's how you're defining.
And I'm kind of defining, like, because that's all I don't have nobody, like I don't have nobody physically or right there that I can actually, touch that's tangible. So that I can base, that I can, utilize those skills from.
So is no father figure better than a negative? A negative.
Kind of depends.
No. I think every child needs a dad. Needs to have an image or
relationship, good or bad.
In my mind, because I think it's still always been, and I'm only speaking for myself. Because you can't
say you're speaking for yourself and say everyone. It doesn't work.
Okay, fair.
So we got different opinions. You're gonna go and then
I think, and I'm a father. Okay, that even if I was the worst father in the world, but my daughter knew who I was, right? Like, it's more important than. But you know what though? Now I say it out loud. Would it be better for my daughter not to know me and for her to be able to create an image of success and what I could have possibly been? My dad was a musician or whatever. Be able to fantasize about that.
I don't think so.
I was a drunk or whatever.
And that's why I asked you. I think
that's a complicated question.
I'm not saying this is what your dad, but his dad knew in himself that I'm not good for my son. I don't want my son to end up like me. So I.
But see, my thing though is you got to take responsibility because nothing matters about who you are as a father before you become a father. And so afterwards, the moment you know you're a dad, you get to make those decisions on who you're going to be. Your daughter won't know you for what you were.
No, I get that. But didn't you say your dad struggled with like alcohol or
drug abuse?
Okay, so he's not in his right mind either. But I think he's in an area where he can make a conscious decision. Like,
Rob, I think Rob's the only one who hasn't spoken on the issue. Rob, do you?
I spoke on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so let's wrap it up. It's a complicated.
It is a complicated subject. What I will say is that not having my dad there actually made me want to, like, made me more ambitious and want to be all the things that he wasn't.
That's
so
right.
I feel like
that's why he needs to be there.
The end of the story.
Whatever he doesn't do, whenever you grow up and you have your own kids, the things that you were lacking from a parent, you will make sure that your kids are not lacking that. That's why they're there. Good or bad, negative or positive. The thing about outside of you, like him causing you physical harm, you know what I mean? The things that he doesn't do or didn't provide for you, because our parents are all people. They're real people.
Yeah,
we're grown now, so now you realize, well,
they're not superheroes.
It's not Uncle Phil.
Right.
It's real people. Like, people are not perfect. So when you realize, hey man, well, they did the best they could, and then my father was, I said, well, I can't be mad at him. His dad wasn't even there. So in his mind, he did the best he knew how to do. So I can't be mad.
Yeah, again, it's a touchy subject.
All right. So moving on. Quick shot check, real quick. We're taking a shot because the word female was used.
So we all got to take it?
This is accountability. This is accountability.
Holding our brothers accountable. Thanks to Brandon.
That wasn't what I said.
Thanks to Brandon, this is what's happening.
Because if he acts like a nigga, the next white person that sees you will think you gonna act just like him.
That's not my fucking problem.
Exactly. It is.
All right. So
y'all wild. I'm not doing this.
It's a light shot.
Last shot, bro.
all right. So it's like a baby dose. Baby dose.
Oh, I hate
All right.
that. Look at that face.
All right. So Rob has a question. Rob had 5 questions. Rob.
But I'm gonna order some food soon.
Leon Spinks has a question.
Right.
Leon Spinks.
Hey. Name's Rob. Look at that train.
Wesley Snipes, come on.
They're gonna be on my phone.
All right, hold on. Okay.
All right. So the question I got is,
What's up, Blake?
what is your biggest pet peeve when you're out with a girl?
Okay. That's significant. Okay.
Man.
Is it your girl or a girl you met?
So a girl you're on a date with?
Yeah.
As a person, girl you're on a date. So whether you've been with her for a year or a day, just a pet peeve that may come up.
So, one of my pet peeves, I don't like being touched.
Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
like PDA? Like public
Just don't touch me.
That's interesting.
That's
so interesting.
Like, I don't like being touched. I'm kind of weird. I just don't touch me.
Okay.
That is very unlight skin of you.
But or that's very light skin. That's a light skin thing. I'm too pretty. Don't touch me.
I'm gonna tell you why. though. There's a reason behind it. And I think I got it from my mom. So my mom was a high school teacher.
Okay.
And she was always had this thing like where her students, they couldn't go this, like it was that her
Personal bubble. Yeah. If I can touch
and
you
I
too
think
close.
that when somebody comes close to me, like you're in my bubble, it like, I started
just
sweat.
wobbling.
See, sweat. See,
You need me
like,
slow?
yeah,
You good? All right.
But I'm just saying, even like if somebody tried to hug me, I probably hit them with a side hug. Because it's like it's like
too close.
It's like a pastor hug. It's like a pastor hug.
You know what? I used to be like that too.
You're in public though.
Yeah.
I was like that probably until I was like 25, 26.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of one of my things.
Okay.
But is that only when you're like in public, like public spaces?
No, I think it's in general. It doesn't matter if it's in
I mean,
I mean, like public spaces, yeah, like in the comfort of your own home, like I wouldn't mind like on the couch with the feet being on me.
Because it could lead to.
But
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you eventually got to touch.
I'm like, yeah, how do you get to that?
touch is like the first sign of physical
Okay, well, if you want to talk about the love languages, like physical touch is not really one of mine. Love languages.
Okay. We got a good love language reference.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's not one of mine.
So my love language, just so we're clear, is words of affirmation. That's my language.
We know.
Tell me how good I look. Yes.
How's my man bun?
Yes, I look good. My hair looks better than your hair does. I took longer to get ready to get hair than you did. Bruce, I'm ready to go. I'm not ready yet.
You do this to me?
Bruce,
Y'all think y'all can do this to me?
You changed it again, Bruce? Yeah, I gotta change again.
All right,
Wow.
back on
I need my
topic.
Gucci pants.
Yeah,
All right.
All right.
my bad.
So what's a pet peeve of yours, Rob? What's a pet peeve of yours in a relationship, or in just
So a pet peeve of mine when I'm out, with someone. Granted, I'm in a relationship, so that's another boy. But a pet peeve of mine is if I'm out with you and we're on a date and we're having dinner, don't have your phone out.
Yeah,
That's a huge
I'm
pet peeve
guilty
of
of
mine.
that though.
Now I will say
I'm
I'm guilty of it once I see the other person have it out.
Oh, so you petty?
Yeah, basically, but I'm trying.
Oh, we doing phone?
But listen, I'm trying.
I got some messages too.
Listen, I'm trying to prove a point though, because my thing is, if we're out on a date, if we trying to get to know one another, it's no need to have your phone out. Like, we trying to converse.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we can't converse, if we can't even get past all of this stuff.
Converse
And
is
we-
the word.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
Conversation.
Converse is the
Is the correct word.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I
alright,
tried to
my
do
bad.
that. Converse.
All right,
So I mean, it's like if we can't talk, can we talk? That's all I'm just saying. Like for a minute, that's all I want to do. Like what I'm saying. Like if we can just talk, if we can go past
Did you
that.
bring up this topic just so you could sing?
I
He played that out so he could sing.
Set it up.
He was like, I'm gonna kill him with the Can we talk?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
But
that's just my pet peeve though. Like if I'm out on a date with someone, no need to have your phone out. We can check it when we leave the spot or whatever like that.
Okay.
We trying to converse.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
All right,
Fellows step
All right.
out like that.
So, all right, so
You gonna say something?
what's
Pet peeve?
I'll go with my pet
Go
peeve.
ahead, go
So
ahead.
we're going this way. Man, I would say not being able to have a sense of humor, like taking things too seriously, because I'm very lighthearted. I'm going to joke. I'm going to laugh. It's
Oh
going to be
my
very.
gosh,
Like
yes.
if everything I feel like I say is being judged or looked at under a microscope, and I got to clarify or constantly re-clarify what I'm trying to communicate, I do not like that shit. Like, because it doesn't feel like a safe zone to be in, and so that's ultimately going to be how I define whether or not I'm like, no, this isn't
Working. It ain't gonna work.
It doesn't work. It
Yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah.
It doesn't work. So that's fine.
I'm with that because I have a hard time. Like I don't have to be explaining every time I say something to you. You know what I mean? Like
He said he don't want to be judged.
you won't be judged, but he wants words of affirmation every 10 minutes.
I don't care.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. As long as you know. As long as you know.
That's my love, not yours. Okay.
But I agree with you. I don't want to explain myself every time I say something to the fact where I'm like, I'm not saying this to be an asshole. Right? I'm just being myself. Like if I can be myself around you, then it's not gonna work at all.
Right.
Exactly. My pet peeve will be I'm gonna get a little bit.
Damn, man.
My-
You still traveling with
I'm sorry.
Damn,
Go ahead,
yeah.
man.
sorry.
Go ahead. Sit your ass
You
down.
read it now. I was mine is
$5 last before I get changed.
so we go out and I get food. I want to ask you what you want. What do you want? And you order what you want, right?
Cheeseburger.
Eating your food, man.
Don't put your fucking hands
That's all
on my
women,
food,
bro.
yo.
That's all women.
I would
bro.
get you. I'm gonna say
Yo,
whatever
why do
what you
why do
want.
y'all do that?
Tell me everything that you want right now.
Yeah, we
I will
do.
buy everything that you want.
That's
You
exactly
want
what
fries?
that exactly
You
what I
want
was
you
gonna
want
say.
you want onion rings?
Right.
You want hush puppies?
Nope, they want your food,
Whatever you
bro.
want.
I care
I
about
think
it's
it.
different.
Take
It's
them out.
different.
It's especially if I'm
If they
hungry.
ask, I'll give them some.
If they ask, I'll give it to them, but it'll be in protest.
But I don't think that's what he was going with. I think he was just saying like, don't just be volunteering getting my food because how about I'm gonna get this sandwich and you get the chicken and we gonna swap that shit.
You know you gonna take the whole half of the thing. Like, I'm a whole grown man.
You get what you want. Appetizer, you want appetizer. You get whatever you starters. Whatever they call them starters now. You want some starters, you get what you want.
And that's when you say you get the
That's what
All right.
I'm
All right. So you got this. Pet peeve.
Yo, that was going to be mine.
Oh, that made me feel bad, even more bad.
Like, I like my food. I mean, as you can tell, I'm looking the healthy side. Like, well, I'm slimmer. I'm slimming down. But still, it's like, yo.
That didn't come in my mouth.
But yo, like, and then like
You gotta change
you
your
can
name in
have.
the chat.
So what?
You gotta change your name in the chat to Slim Fit.
Damn. But nah, like again, like you said, you can have whatever you want. It's different if I offer you something. Like if I see you peeking at my food, I'm like, hey, would you like some?
You wanna try this?
You can have some. But like, nah, like I ordered what I want. You can get whatever
See,
you want.
I'm always gonna get my food. That's
Right. So yeah, like
I'm skinny. These are
he took
I want
mine.
that, yeah.
All right. So did you go?
Yeah, go ahead. So, my pet peeve is I think there's etiquette when you're out on dates with somebody, right? So if they run into a group of people they know and just start talking to them and don't even introduce you, and so you're just standing there like,
That's good, yo.
it's like this mad awkward, like,
Introduce yourself.
yeah, like I'm
That's
like,
the worst.
even if we're not together, like this is my friend, you know,
Jeff,
Travis,
I'm Jeff.
or like it's kind of strange. Like I just feel like that's
Or
an
with your
etiquette
friends,
thing
right.
that like puts you in a weird predicament. You know,
I don't care about me.
you know what I mean? But I mean, I wouldn't introduce myself, but I just feel like it's a, you know what I mean? This is it's
And you from up
respectful
north,
to
ain't you? Ain't you from
Yeah,
You see, that's a southern
You
thing.
from
I
everywhere.
know.
You from
I think that's a
everywhere.
southern thing, man.
He from Northwest.
All right. So
It's the north, man.
all right.
You said both.
So in keeping this conversation moving, I think that was a good topic. I'm gonna go with something light.
I love light.
Yeah, we love light.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Colorism, man. I
Don't
saw
you drink not today.
colorism,
Not
yo.
today. Now I've been drinking.
I saw this on Blackish. It's a real thing, yo.
Don't you?
Blackish is a good show. Y'all need to watch
Black
that
is a good show.
shit.
Shout out
Fantastic
to
show.
Anthony and that. So my question is just going to be, and we're going to move through it real fast so we can keep this show going, is name the top 5 African American. I don't know that it doesn't be African American, but I think we all love black women here. So,
Oh, absolutely.
no offense to anybody else, but we all
I
love
love black women.
Right. Shout out to
We
black
can take a
women.
shot for that.
Yeah, hey, just pull me up.
That bullshit.
And we're up.
Man,
Twist an arm. Twist an arm.
Don't take a shot if
We
you
don't
don't like
make
black
it.
women.
The upper room.
if you don't like chocolate women, you're not taking a shot. So
Hey, well,
y'all
man,
audience, y'all can
How you
judge
like?
who don't put the cup up.
Yeah, niggas line up at the well now. The boy was like,
Hey, give me a little taste, give me a little sip. Let me sip.
niggas like,
All right, continue.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
finish the question, yeah.
So my question is, of your childhood or youth or adolescence, whatever, who are the 5 most
Tatiana Ali.
applause? The 5 most influential black women from attractiveness standpoint. Like, who did you grow up saying like
Tatiana Ali. I need
Right,
that. I'm
right.
sorry.
Can you finish the question?
Right. So for me personally, I did a lot of thinking.
I know what you're saying.
Holly Berry, Boomerang.
I was about to say that.
Holly Berry, Boomerang.
And she fine then.
She's
fine
natural, if fine, looking luscious.
I'm about to agree.
Okay. Lisa Ray in the Players Club.
I'm gonna have to agree. She was on my
She was strong?
she was on my background my sophomore year of college.
Right.
On my, you know.
Right. Nia Long in anything.
Yes, sir.
In anything.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to agree.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to
Okay.
agree. I'm about to agree.
Let's go with
That's a great topic.
right. I'm gonna say, I don't know if y'all seen the movie Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls. Light skin, whatever.
You
Don't
talking
touch
about
Look her up.
I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
What-
From
I don't
Saved
know.
by the Bell?
No,
Jesse Spano?
no.
oh yeah, she was a showgirl.
Elizabeth Berkley.
She was a showgirl.
Jesse Spano?
Jesse was in showgirl.
Oh my
She
god.
ain't white. She like half black.
No,
Nigga,
she's
that's
not.
Can I put a light skin chick on my list? Damn,
Nah,
you know
she's
what I'm
not-
saying?
All light skin chicks on your list.
different.
Hey,
This
long.
is the whole, nigga, this is the whole white John, dog.
She's
Like,
white.
Neil Long is.
She in New Long. Sorry.
I said
it's a
them
whole
till
white-
me.
it's a whole white John. He bugged.
She's
I
white.
said Lisa Ray. Tatiana
How you know
Ali.
Lisa Ray?
That's Scarlett Johansson, bro.
That's a white woman, bro.
Whatever, y'all. Y'all
Wow.
thinking. Shut up.
Jesse Spano's white, dog.
Okay.
You was good. You was on a good track too, man.
You see what he was saying?
All right,
man?
well, okay, boss. And I'm
look at
gonna put.
him.
I think I'm at 5.
This is not Sasha
Don't
Lee.
let your say no
Right,
name. Say no shit.
right. This is not 5. This is not 5. Okay, you worry about your 5. All right. And so I think
Willie son, you right.
Vivica A. Fox and Booty Call slides into my list. Like, Vivica A. Fox was cold.
I was going to say chick from
What's the one that's a Republican now with the
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I ain't gonna hold you.
So look, this is what
Stacey
we're gonna do.
Dash?
Stacey
No,
Dash.
check it out. Check it out.
Real life.
Everybody say they 5.
I don't got 5, but I mean,
Look, everybody say they 5, and we was gonna pick one.
I ain't got 5. I got like 3.
Wait,
I'm
who's 3?
I was gonna say like Stacey Dash.
Okay.
I used to love me some Tatiana Ali. Fresh
Okay.
Prince. Man, it was something about.
She was fine.
She was right. She still is though. She fine. And then
I didn't mention Vanity.
Well,
yeah,
stop.
Vanity.
You turn this over.
Well, first of all, that's for 4-year-olds. You know
Vanity
you're
was
too
cold.
young for that. Because Vanity is cold. She's still cold. Let me see. And I'll have to go with Nia Long. Like that Trinidad.
Nia Long might be
I'm telling you,
Man,
she's still bad.
oh,
She might be the
She's
unanimous
still bad.
decision in this list. It might be
All right,
Nia.
Will, you next, Will. We go
Again, I don't have 5, but Halle Berry was up there. But Sanaa Lathan.
So okay,
So-
so is there a difference? I want because I thought about this a lot. Is there a difference when you think about this list between sexy and beautiful? Because I think Sanaa Lathan
Yes.
is beautiful. Like I think she's.
Well, let's just say sexy.
Wait, you just said top 5.
Let's just say top
I
5.
know, but
Let's not
But
get
I'm in
into
that
it
category
because it will be all night.
Okay, we'll keep it through.
This
Okay.
is a good topic. You decide.
You were going to it like that? How did you decide then? Would you-
Like I
sexy. You want
always
sexy.
get judgment on my last on one that like I have a crush on. Like
You still do?
that that will never happen. Like she don't.
She might see this podcast.
Nah, it's not. She don't go this way, bro. She like chicks.
Ooh.
So
Oh man, that's
Queen
okay.
Latifah.
I like chicks too.
I like Queen Latifah.
Do you?
Niggas look
Give me
at
19.
First off, plus girls, hey, there's a ton of plus size girls get love. And Queen can rap too, and she got some bread, sexy.
Yeah,
If I had a plus size chick that I had a name, it'd be like Jill Scott. I think that's like Jill
I'm not
Scott.
Queen, but Queen, no, Queen is a fucking pioneer.
Well, I think Jill Scott over it.
Yeah, like my
but it-
or some shit. I don't know.
Jill Scott.
This
All right.
nigga started
All
playing.
right.
It's crazy.
All right. Brandon, you're 5.
All right. So I got Stacey Dash because Clueless.
That's iconic.
Like yeah,
Oh,
Clueless.
niggas can judge me. Niggas can judge me.
Rachel
This nigga
from
said
Caribbean
clueless.
Rhythms.
This nigga
On
said clueless.
BET. Y'all remember Rachel?
Yeah.
Remember, what's his
On
name?
BET, the Caribbean Rhythms.
Oh yeah, I look yeah.
Her,
Yeah.
Beyonce. Tommy Bunn's girlfriend in Belly. Dark skin chick.
Hey.
Oh yeah. She Tiana. Yeah.
Her name is
Her name is Tiana in the belly, right?
but in her real life name is it starts with a T.
So,
I
okay.
googled it, I couldn't find it.
Oh.
So I don't know.
Okay.
And then Halle Berry.
Okay. Rob.
Alright, so my top 5. I mean, I got. So
Dylon.
So it's not even in crazy order. So I got Halle Berry. I got Sanaa Lathan. I got Nia Long.
You got the same one.
I got Regina Hall.
Mm.
And I got Taraji P. Henson. There's
Okay.
something about her in Empire, man. Like,
I talking about childhood. Wait, we talking about
Right,
childhood.
look, 80s and 90s.
Childhood.
If you just said baby boy, then maybe it would go.
Yeah, we talking about childhood.
okay, well, I mean, shit, baby boy, it don't
She was
matter.
cold, baby
She'll
boy.
still get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's be real. Let's be real here. Like, I'm just saying.
All right.
like,
Did y'all take the shots for black women?
I already took a shot.
Do it.
No, I'm doing it right now. I'm sorry. I love that when you
Take a
do
shot
it
for
right
black
now.
women.
See y'all? That's selfish.
I am selfish.
Y'all
I'm a
niggas
Scorpio.
kill me. I'm a Scorpio too as well.
Yeah,
Which we
me
gotta
too.
talk about some later. But it's cool.
All right,
But,
cool. We're going to keep this
I
topic.
mean, a lot of them was the same. Like, of course, Halle Berry, Nia Long. I used to have a crush on Brandy, on Moesha, when she was still.
Oh, yeah.
Brandy was
Oh,
tough.
you like the eyes like
You know
this?
what I'm saying?
Nah,
Yeah. Well,
I think I go too. I think I
real rap, like I used to like.
Brandon, what's up? All right, go ahead, Jeff.
You can't